And if you don't think that Rashee Rice is going to be here long term because you're not ready for that, then I mean, do what you got to do. But if you could get this guy in the 4th round, maybe he sits a year and comes back and you could have a ceiling.
He loves receivers that can block, right?
Yeah.
That's why MVS hung around as long as he did.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's be honest here. He's massive, bro. He's 6'4", 210.
He is a high effort blocker. He doesn't take many plays off. I don't know if I love Denzel Boston as somebody who is going to come in and change or be an explosive type player.
I'll just flat out say it. I think there's better receivers later in the draft.
The one we want to focus on today is Denzel Boston. He went in, he didn't do some stuff like run 40s. He said he was going to run his 40, and then surprise, surprise, Denzel Boston did not run a 40 today, and people were
like
pissed.
Running 40s. He don't like running 40s.
That means he's slow, does it not?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. He doesn't need to be fast, right? Let's talk about Denzel Boston for just a second. Wide receiver from Washington. He's massive, bro. He's 6'4", 210.
Yeah.
He's an outside receiver. He kind of emerged as one of the most reliable targets in college football last season. Well, over the last 2 seasons, really. We start talking about his strengths, and I'll look at my notes here. I wrote down contested catch monster. He boasts an elite 61% career contested catch rate, which jumped up to nearly 77% in 2025. So he's like an ultimate safety net for a quarterback.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I wrote down about him. He's a good blocker. He's one of the best blocking receivers in the class. Frequently seals edges for mobile QBs, which maybe in the first few weeks we might have one of those, depending on if Patrick Mahomes gets back or not.
That's true.
We'll see about that. But that's something that Andy Reid likes too, because Andy likes to use the screen game. He loves receivers that can block, right?
Yeah.
That's why MVS hung around as long as he did.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's be honest here. Also, Denzel Boston's a red zone threat. He had 20 touchdowns over the last 2 years. He uses his frame. He boxes out like a basketball player, and he's big enough to do it, and it works very well. I would say if I go over to like the weaknesses of Denzel Boston and what I wrote down about that, he's not twitchy. He doesn't get much separation. He's not going to be open very much at all. He's pretty much going to be that contested catch type guy, and the red zone target. And I think that's probably the biggest thing about him. But I also think there's a lot of yak limitation with him. He's not going to be a Rashee Rice. He's not going to be somebody that can just catch the ball and create yards afterwards. That's not how he works. But he would kind of fit like a big-bodied X receiver role, which a lot of people want in Kansas City. So, I mean, a pretty intriguing pick to me.
Look, I don't think I would be super pumped. Like, I'm not going to have a parade or anything or take my shirt off or hit myself in the penis like you did when we drafted Jalen Royals. But I'll say this. He's something that I think Eric Bieniemy would kind of like. You mentioned the fact that he'll block his ass off. He was voted a team captain. He is a high effort blocker. He doesn't take many plays off. If the Chiefs want to get more under center this year, because they were 30th in plays from under center, so maybe they're looking to get back to more like a balanced under center approach. Maybe you get a guy that's 6'4", big bodied on the edge and can open up, holes for Kenneth Walker when he gets out on the edge or whatever. Like, you never know what they're looking for. I don't think, like we mentioned MVS, yes, he blocks like MVS, but nothing else he does is similar to MVS.
No.
And I started to look at that, and I wanted to see how much he was similar to MVS or even Justin Watson, because Justin Watson kind of took that role when MVS left, and he didn't do it to the extreme that MVS did. But what you can find is that Denzel Boston is going to be way slower than both MVS and Justin Watson. They were a 4.37 to a 4.44, somewhere in that range. Boston, I'm telling you right now, if he didn't run, he's over a 4.6. Like, that's just all there is to it. He's over a 4.6. But he's going to win with leverage and high pointing. And I don't think that you've seen Justin Watson have the same catch radius as you would see from Denzel Boston. Now, maybe MVS, but then it gets into the whole MVS couldn't catch a cold kind of thing. So I think that definitely Denzel Boston's going to have better hands there. So I think when you really look at it, they're the same, but they're different. I don't know if I love Denzel Boston as somebody who is going to come in and change or be an explosive type player. He's going to be a guy that blocks, gives you high effort, and can maybe move the sticks on 3rd and 4th down for you.
I'll just flat out say it. I think there's better receivers later in the draft.
Oh, absolutely.
I really do. And so that's just how I see it. But that's not me hating on Denzel Boston. I think he's a fine player, but I just don't know about that value at like pick 29. I don't love it. So that's just where I'm at. But y'all, let's talk about another receiver that have had you guys horned up a little bit. We've seen y'all talking about him in the chat on our live streams. We've seen some comments talking about him, and he just happens to play right up the road here. We're talking about Chris Bell, wide receiver from Louisville, Kentucky. He's intriguing, I have to say.
Yeah.
When I wrote down notes about Chris Bell, I wrote down he is one of the most intriguing and polarizing receiver prospects in 2026 class. He's often described as a carbon copy of A.J. Brown or Deebo Samuel.
Yeah.
Right. And that's kind of what people had said about Rice because of his yak ability, but he's not. Rice isn't the bully ball type guy like these other cats. Chris Bell is. He's definitely brings a brand of bully ball that the Chiefs have lacked on the perimeter for years. Like we've really not had someone like that. When I start talking about the strengths of Chris Bell, I'll go ahead and just tell you 6'2", 222. He's a big guy. He's very running back-esque. I wrote down that his yak ability was what I appreciated the most when I watched his game tape. Like,
yeah,
he can do things kind of like Rashee Rice, to where when he has the ball in his hands, he can become a running back. He can break off an intermediate pass for a big gain, and he can do it quickly. Big, thick frame. He's good at contested catches. 56% contested catch rate throughout his career in college. He has late hands, which means he doesn't really tip off the defender. Like if you watch him, he snatches the ball out of the air, and that leaves him just enough space to where he can work and get some yak. He has elite build-up speed. He's not twitchy coming off the line, but once he gets going, he can haul ass, brother. GPS tracked him at 21.5 miles per hour in college, and that's 6'2", 222.
Yeah,
that's pretty damn good. Right now, let's talk about some of the weaknesses with him that I observed, and I think the biggest one, it's the elephant in the room. It's the ACL tear.
Oh yeah,
right. It's his injury. He prevented him from even testing at the combine, and it's likely going to keep him from missing his pro day. And there's a good chance he might miss some of the season. And that's what a lot of people don't want to talk about when they talk about Chris Bell. But you could be in that situation where you had Jalen Royals who couldn't get on the field last year. You could do that again if you got Chris Bell.
In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook, we're bringing you an amazing offer. Football may be in full offseason mode, but with tournament basketball right around the corner, you can stay in on the action and use your bonus bets on DraftKings same-game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. Right now, for new customers, you can download the DraftKings app, bet $5, and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Just sign up using promo code ACU. With DraftKings, the crown is yours.
But I think he does offer the Chiefs some fascinating things. I guess I should say he'd be a fascinating fit for an Andy Reid type offense because he excels in that short to intermediate game, that 0 to 19 yards. That's where Chris Bell's going to wreak havoc, and he can also get you the yak, right? Well, that's kind of been the bread and butter for the Chiefs during the Mahomes era, is of that intermediate route. That's why Rashee Rice has done so well, because that's what he does. I like Chris Bell a lot. I just think that the injury makes it very scary, and you would have to get him third, fourth round for me to feel comfortable about it. But if you could get him third or fourth round and he comes back healthy, Mike, I think you're getting first round talent almost.
Right. So Chris Bell was my number 5 wide receiver, and Denzel Boston was my number 6. Once he was injured, Chris Bell has now fell to my number 10. Like, he's not out of my top 10. He's at number 10 because I still think even with the injury.
That's fair.
Yeah, he is. Even with the injury, he could be good coming back. And like you said, he could miss a little bit of time. He could miss the whole season. Who knows? Now, why I think the Chiefs could mess with him. You're going to get that beautiful Veach discount with Chris Bell, I believe. I don't think he's going to go in round 1. Obviously, he may even miss out on round 2 because of the ACL injury. So if you get him in 3 or 4, that is Veach value is what that is.
Exactly.
That's just what it is. And look, Boston may be healthy and you may have a little bit more stability with him, but Bell is bigger ceiling in my opinion, and he's got that Veach value. So again, he's built like a linebacker. I think he's probably, when he was healthy, he was arguably the hardest wide receiver in the entire class to tackle. Elite speed power combo before that ACL tear. So again, you don't know how he's really going to come off the ACL tear. Could be good, could be bad, but we've seen Rashee Rice come back off an ACL tear this year, and he looked pretty good. I mean, he went through some drop problems there at the end of the year, but physically he was fine. And so Chris Bell and Denzel Boston are both wide receivers. The thing is that Denzel Boston's going to be more that jump ball, red zone, rim protector kind of guy. Chris Bell is going to be what the Chiefs like, which is a physical yak monster who can also jump and go get that. He's about 10 pounds heavier, 2 pounds shorter than Denzel Boston, but his speed is way better. He's going to be in the 4.4s. Could have clocked 4.3 maybe if he wouldn't have been injured. And of course, I think Denzel Boston's at a 4.6 or more because that's why he didn't run. He put up just as good of numbers in 11 games as Denzel Boston did. He put up more yardage and about 5 less touchdowns because he missed 2 or 3 games at the end of the year, maybe 3 or 4. I don't remember how much it was. But I think he uses his body well. Just everything about him, it screams home run threat. And if you don't think that Rashee Rice is going to be here long term because you're not ready for that, then, I mean, do what you got to do. But if you could get this guy in the 4th round, maybe he sits a year and comes back and you could have a ceiling like a bigger wide receiver that can do the things Rashee Rice does.
He's at least 2nd round talent if he was healthy.
Absolutely.
And he could maybe sneak into the back end of the 1st round if he had not had any of the injuries and got to play out his entire last season. That's a possibility. Yeah, but he's absolutely 2nd round talent. And if you can get him at 4 or late 3rd, like that's good value.
Right. And you mentioned the A.J. Brown light kind of thing, like is he A.J. I'm not going to say he's A.J. Brown. That's a big comp. But I see a little bit of A.J. Brown in his game, the way he plays bully ball and the way that he's tough to bring down. And so, look, I honestly believe that in a Chiefs schematic, like a layout of who I would rather have, yak ability goes to Chris Bell over Denzel Boston. I think route tree, you just about have to give that to Boston. I think that's a Boston thing if you start looking at the way they run their routes. Hands, I think they're just both right there. They've got really good to elite hands. I don't think neither one of them had a problem. I think in the red zone, you give it to Boston just because he's going to jump a little higher and he's 2 inches taller. Okay, he's a bully, or he's more of a box out kind of guy, like a basketball. And then Chris Bell's more like that bully at the catch point, right? So I think if you want a high point, but we don't really do a lot of those jump balls. So I don't know how much that counts for me. But if you really want to see the big one, it's draft value. A round 3 to round 4 injury discount on Chris Bell that you could get a fast physical monster, or Denzel Boston that you may have to take at 29. I just feel like if if the medical's clear, I think Bell's the winner for me. I would rather take Bell in round 3 or 4 than Denzel Boston at number 29.
You can break it down any way you want, but when it comes down to it, Chris Bell's the better fit with the Chiefs.
I think he's the better receiver.
End of story.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You guys let us know what you think about Denzel Boston and Chris Bell. Do you like them? Do you want the Chiefs to look at those guys? Also, which one would you rather have if they're only going to get one of them? Let us know down in the comments. We appreciate you. Hit that like button for us. It helps us out. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, which YouTube tells us like 90% of you guys watch but haven't subscribed, we're going to need you to hit that subscribe button. Help us out. Let's get to 100K, baby. That's what we're aiming for. It might take a while, but we need your help. Share us out with your friends, family. Let them know where to find some good Chiefs content. You can become a member of the channel at join.allchiefedup.com. It's $4.99 a month. It goes to help this channel grow, and you get some cool things in return. Also, you can go to merch.allchiefedup.com. Buy yourself something snazzy, look good, and support the channel at the same time. So it's a win-win. Appreciate you guys. We'll catch you next time. Go Chiefs.